TK. I'm rolling dice like every day.
Okay, I just bought some of the new Dark Eldar Incubi, which I am super stoked to build and paint. It was a really hard choice because they didn't have Raiders in stock, and I had about 35 bucks, so I had to choose between these, Witches, Warriors, Jet Bikes, or Hellions. And I was very tempted to get the Hellions, even though I don't plan on using them a whole lot, just because the models are so cool. So I ended up rolling on it, and I got the Incubi, so I'm actually quite happy with that result. Okay, as you can see, there's some pretty cool box art. Again, you can see kind of like some good ideas for some simple Dark Eldar terrain, just kind of in the back and what they're standing on, that kind of stuff. You can see that they have these ginormous, ridiculous swords, which are pretty pimp. And on the back they have pretty much the same stuff again. Okay, and we have these are all metal models, by the way. They are multi-part metal models though, so they're not so flat like a lot of the 3rd edition, 2nd edition models were. Okay, we have bases. We also have, let me put some orcs over here. Okay, we have these swords, which are pretty awesome. There are runes all over them, which honestly look really cool. They're going to be really fun to pick out with some detail highlight colors. You get your 5 swords. They're all a little bit different, and they're pretty much the same, but they're all a little bit different. Some of them are one-handing, sort of. Some of them they're all just a little bit different. And then you've got these right here, which are kind of like their little backpack things. Each head is a little bit different, I believe. Also, might be 2 of the same. I think they might be random. They're probably randomly thrown in there, so you might get 2 or 3 of the same ones. I think I got 2 of the same and 2 of the same heads. But and they got these things for their jetpack backpack things, which look pretty cool. They're kind of a lot more like the Eldar Guardian ones, but pointy everywhere. So those look pretty sweet. The heads, also, the heads are honestly amazing. I wasn't a big fan of the horns at first, but I think with these gladiator style helmets, they look quite cool. It's kind of hard to see these metal models. I'll have to show you them after they're painted up. Then you got the regular torsos here. All have some very detailed armor. Again, kind of that plate mail. Really kind of gladiator, old school kind of armor. It looks really good. It's definitely liked it better than the armor from the last edition of Dark Eldar models. They still have a lot of the cool pieces coming off, like the legs there at the top. Like, that's something I really liked from the old models that they did keep. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and put these together now. Okay, so I've got him glued on the base now. And at this point I'm just going to go ahead and glue on his weapon. Now there's 3 different kinds, at least 3 different kinds that I got in my box. There's ones like this. This is a one-handed one, or the guy's holding the other hand right up next to the edge. This particular one has all of an arm except for a hand, and up to his elbow on this arm. So this one here has an arm all the way up to the shoulder, so that's going to be for a different one. And so I've got this one left. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, I've got another one with the hands right up there. So this one's got just a hand on the blade and up to the elbow there, so this is the one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Okay, so I've glued the blade on. which actually fit in there really well once I got the blade as straight as I could. It kind of snapped in, and it held itself in actually without glue even, so it's going to be decently durable when it's done there. And I'm just going to glue the head on, and then go ahead and glue those things on the back. Alright, and here is the finished model. Still drying since it does take forever with metal models. So I guess pros, they look pretty darn badass. I mean, honestly, like, this blade is, the sword is taller than he is, literally, which is pretty awesome. It's really dynamic models. You can't really pose the arms that much, but you can, even just moving the head really changes it a lot, and it does have, it's already dynamically posed quite a bit, so you don't really have to mess with it. Aside from that, I'd say cons would be it's metal, which I freaking hate. It's really hard to glue them together. Even small models like this, I'm out of my Zappa Gap that I always use, so I'm using some crazy glue, and it's really hard. You still have to use, I use green stuff, you still have to do that, and it's pretty much together now, but it takes forever to dry, and it's just a pain. I also think the metal models don't hold the detail as well, and they chip more when you paint them, so I really hate that they're metal. And I honestly feel like Games Workshop is getting more and more and more lazy with their metal models. Like, this piece on the end, that's flashing, that's extra stuff. It's literally thicker than the blade, which is kind of annoying to have to try to cut that off. And all these pieces, like, the head's either connected right onto it like that, under this main piece, or it's connected by a really, really, really thick rod. These pieces here, they're connected with a piece that's literally like twice as thick as they are, and it's really hard to cut those even. So that's really annoying. I am glad that they're switching more and more with every codex to more and more plastic models. But when you do get a metal model, it's still really annoying. But the models look amazing, so at this point I really don't care because they just look so damn cool. So there you go. That's the Incubi, and I'll have them hopefully painted up in a few weeks.